What's happening, everybody? So this video I want to cover a topic that I wanted to talk about for a while, but I ended up pushing it because it coincides perfectly with the announcement that I want to share with all of you at the end of this video. So the timing just worked out perfectly. I was like, all right, I can push this and this will be good because I can't wait to talk about the announcement for the end of this video. But the topic that I want to cover is helping the hobby pay for itself. Now, I have touched on this before in my eBay tips and unboxing video, where I discussed the PayPal bucks and like the PayPal card, debit card, and a few other things. But I want to go into that like full on and take a deep dive into that for this video here. And I deliberately titled this "Helping the Hobby" instead of "Let the Hobby Make the Hobby" or "Have the Hobby Pay for Itself," because there are a lot of things that you can do along the way in your collecting journeys and your shopping, whatever else, that will actually help the hobby pay for itself. So, and it might seem, for some of you, it might seem vague or too broad, and it actually kind of works because that just means that you can take this a lot of ways. There are a lot of avenues that you can use to do that for yourself. Now, I have talked about one specific way that, besides eBay bucks and the PayPal debit card, but one that I use is mycomicshop.com and their affiliate link. So if you notice in the description of my videos that I probably had for almost forever, there is an affiliate link for mycomicshop.com. So what that means is anytime that anybody that clicks on that link and they make a purchase, I will get I don't know how much, I just get like small percentage of that, whatever, and they will send me a check or just put it onto my mycomicshop.com credit, whatever. And I actually have to get that. You set it up, and I set it up years ago, and I said, oh, just do a check. And I got an email notification earlier this year that I was supposed to get something for it, but I never actually got anything in the mail. So I need to call them. I still need to call them and see if I can get that switched over and and just have it put into my account on the website, because I use it so frequently. It just makes more sense to do that there. There's just a few extra dollars I can save on orders or back issue orders or subscription stuff. So that's just one way. And a lot of sites use it. Obviously, this is going to be more comic based, but this does apply for video games, toy collecting, and pretty much any other hobby that you might be interested in as well. But a lot of it will be based around comic book stuff. So that's just one way. mycomicshop.com affiliate link, and you'll see that a lot of times for either YouTube, Instagram, maybe Twitter, I don't know, probably Facebook too, anywhere that you can just have a link on people's websites, blogs, and they'll usually label it affiliate link or just anything like that. I think a lot of those websites are links that people have that say, oh, if you use this link, you get 10% off. I'm pretty sure those are as well. And it just kicks back something to the person dropping the link and sharing the link on their website, blog, social media account, whatever. Just something there just to push business towards whatever other website, business, whatever. And then the person sharing it just kind of gets a little, I'd say kickback, because that sounds so corrupt. That just sounds like political corruption right there. Oh, they get kickbacks, whatever. So it just sounds weird saying that. I just couldn't think of a better way to phrase that. So that's just one way, affiliate links, to do that. And I already talked about eBay bucks. I don't want to get into that, but I will just touch on that again, just briefly, to say you should definitely go sign it up if you are frequent eBay, or if you're getting into eBay, or maybe if you haven't been on buying and selling on eBay for a long time. I definitely recommend doing that. And again, these aren't going to be big dollar values, big dollar amounts, but you can, especially if you're doing a lot of buying, you can get 5 cents, 7 cents, 10 cents, 37 cents, whatever. All that adds up. And what that means is more money that's back in your pocket. So if you're buying a lot of books, you can get something for it. So you get money back. If you're going to spend that money anyway, sign up for eBay bucks and get some back. Again, it's not a lot, but especially if you're doing a lot of buying and selling, or just a lot of buying, you can get some of that back, and that just helps. Because I'm all about the deals and just putting money in your pocket, or keeping money in your pocket, or putting money back in your pocket. that just helps. This is something else to help. So definitely go sign up for eBay Bucks if you are a frequent eBayer like that. And I think it should be obvious that the biggest component of helping the hobby pay for itself is the buying and selling aspect of this. Now, this kind of goes back to what I said about it being vague or broad. And if you thought that, that's okay. Again, I just wanted to make that clear that that's perfectly fine, because if you just heard the phrasing, maybe you've never even heard the phrasing before. But I know several YouTubers that have used the phrase before, and it might have just kind of gone over your head, or you just kind of thought, just heard it in passing. But the idea is, okay, if you're going to be buying stuff, maybe you're selling stuff, not specifically just flipping, but if you have old stuff you need and you can get rid of it, all right, you look through your collection, comics, toys, video games, movies, whatever. Just, and all right, if you look at this and you say, you know what, I have no interest in this before, or no interest in this anymore, I'm never going to read this book again, I didn't like it, whatever else, or you picked up another copy, get rid of your old stuff and just put some money back in your pocket. And I've talked about, because I buy a lot of Marvel Legends, you all know that my toy hauls and a big toy collector. Everything that I picked up from Marvel Legends, I'm not gonna use it all. Like those Build-A-Figure pieces, a lot of times, let's just say half. Every time I pick up a figure, the Build-A-Figure piece, I'm never gonna use. So it just sits in my. I had a bunch even just a few years ago. I had a bunch just sitting in my collection. I have no use. I don't like these other characters. I'm never gonna use them. I just wanted the main figure. So what am I? All right. So I'm sitting there with these. And then I was actually getting ready. Here's a perfect example. I was getting ready for a trip. And I was like, oh, you know, I have all this stuff. Like, just get back into eBay and get rid of some of this stuff. And then I end up selling a bunch of those extra Build-A-Figure pieces. Figures I'm never going to build for characters I don't give a shit about. So I ended up selling a bunch of them on eBay en masse. Like, just quick. And I just racked up, I don't even know, $100, almost $200 something, just extra spending money for my upcoming trip. Obviously I didn't use it all, but that was just a nice influx of cash. Like, that's just perfect. It's just sitting in my collection. There's no need for that. With comics, now we all know there are lots of stuff you can do with comics, and even this kind of goes with toys too, with flipping. Now flipping, people are going to take different ways, and people might even have different interpretations of what flipping means. Does it always mean just buying up the hot stuff? Like, if you know something's hot, you're picking up 5 copies, cleaning the shelves out from a specific shop and dropping all the copies, like you bought them for $3.99, and then the next day, or that same day, the next day, you're selling it for $25, whatever. I mean, that's something that happens, and that's just kind of the uglier side of this, because that's extra as hell, and you don't need to do that. But with comics, I'm specifically meaning more towards older stuff that you have in your collection. As I said, stuff that you read before that you have no interest in doing again or reading again. So that also leads into my announcement, because I was looking at this. There's something I teased, or I kind of previewed, that if you remember, I don't even know, it was a month ago, and a month or so, probably even more. It was that Hasbro HasLab X-Men Legends Sentinel. That beast of a Sentinel figure, and I'll overlay some images here if you haven't seen it before. But I was looking at this, and when I saw that, and when I just came across it on some random stuff too, I could have missed the link, and I probably would have never come across this, because I hadn't seen it anywhere else really afterwards, except for searching it out, which I'd already had the knowledge of it. So I was looking at this, and I'm still tempted, and people are asking, are you going to get that? You know, I'm a big X-Men fan. I love my Sentinels. Y'all know I love some Sentinels. And I was like, man, that's one hell of a price tag. $349 plus tax. That's just a chunk of money to drop, especially on a toy collector, like a collectible toy. But man, that thing is gorgeous. And I would absolutely love to have that in my collection. But I was like, all right, just kind of watching it, and I would just check back to see, because the original goal for this was 6,000 backers. So, and I'm going too far into this, but it all ties together, trust me. So I'm going, like, just checking this and like watching the backer count grow. Like, all right, if it hits 6,000, the goal, then it's going into production. Boom, boom, then it hits more goals. They drop more tiers, more backing gold. Boom, just shooting, it's flying through these goals. I think the video I did on it was after it hit 10K or something. And so it just shot through all this stuff. So as of this video, as of me recording this damn video, that Sentinel It has 19,000 backers. 19,000. The original goal was 6,000. And it ends Monday, 24th is, and not even 24th, I don't even know. But it ends Monday night. So just imagine, like, as of this recording, I'm doing this on Monday evening, or Monday afternoon. So it ends tonight, and there are 19,000, so it's probably gonna, a bunch more people will probably be added on to that as well. And you're asking, Gino, but what does that mean for you? Did you back it? Are you getting that send-off? And yes, I am. I am happy to announce you can count me among the ranks of those 19,000 people who are selling out that money to get that beast of a Sentinel figure from Hasbro, HasLab, X-Men Legends Sentinel, because I backed it. And just as I was talking about with my last point, Southern-Euro comics, because I was looking through my comics, and I was like, oh, I have some stuff here that's been sitting here that I wanted to sell. I put it in separated from my main collection into my for sale totes, which I have, I don't know, 6 or 7 like totes, boxes, whatever, for comics that I don't want anymore, that I want to sell. So what I did was I went through there and I was just looking. So sometimes I'll cross-reference like my comic shop, see what kind of prices they have for, you know, various grades of comics, and just through either some certain single issues or runs, and then check with eBay as well. All right, how many auctions, see what kind of prices certain books are going for, certain runs. Like, oh, have there been any recent ones at all? Because sometimes you just never, like, some just might just pop up just every so often. Other times, that's a lot easier for single issues because you're going to see some of those a lot more frequently, but just entire runs, not a chance. So what I did was I sold my Thor God of Thunder, that run from a few years ago, Jason Aaron, Esad Ribic, and Eve Scorvina, and I forgot, is it Scorvina? I forgot. I'm looking at it in my head, but I don't have it handy to read the name off of it. So I'm sorry if I butchered your name. But I was like, all right, I read this as it was coming out. So I was thinking, okay, you know what? It was cool, but if I can get rid of it and get something else I want, that works for me. So this one, you know, it had the first appearances of Gore, the God Butcher, Null, the Symbiote God. Malekith was in there because he had, I think there was a couple of story arcs, or either just one. It might have just ran for a few more issues than I remember. But Malekith was in there doing some crazy stuff that Malekith does because Dark Elves. But I was looking at this, like, all right, you know what? Especially with all this Venom stuff that's been hot in recent years, and then they kind of went crazy with it with Null and all the symbiote stuff, rewriting the history of the symbiotes and their origins, their beginnings. So, all right, this might be kind of hot. So I was like, all right, let me put this up. Let's see what happens. So it was actually kind of funny because I was watching this. A few people bid early. I was thinking, why people bid so early? Because I never understand that, especially for a week-long auction. Like, it just sits there, you're just driving the price up. Now, I say that for when I'm bidding on something. No, for auction, I'm having, please bid often, bid frequent, bid high. I'm all for that. Do that because it works out in my favor. So I had this auction up, and I'm like, all right, just watching the bids go up ahead, and I get the notifications, bid received, bid received, bid received. Oh, this works. So it's just kind of going. I'm like, oh, and then the last couple hours, it just shot up, and then so like. I'm watching this and I have the mindset, the higher this auction goes, the less I have to come out of my pocket to put towards the Sentinel. So it shot up and eventually it ended well over the price of the Sentinel. So now I'm thinking, oh man, that's quite a, like, all right, that works out perfectly. So then I'm still kind of debating, like, well, I'm not even 100% sure I'm getting this Sentinel, but I do want it. Like, I want it bad. So I'm like, oh man, I could just pocket this money and I have it to do whatever else with, or I could just go ahead and fund this Sentinel. So I said, you know what, I want this Sentinel, boom. So I submit it, and there it is. You can see, thanks for being a backer, thanks for backing this. And I was just, oh man, like that just works out perfectly. I didn't have to spend any additional money. The hobby paid for itself, comics, toys, video games, whatever. So just from comics, getting rid of comics, to buy an expensive toy that I want. That works out perfectly. So that's just a perfect example. I wanted to share that announcement with you because yes, I'm getting that Sentinel. Now, of course, I have to wait a year because it won't start shipping until August, or I think it says September of 2021. So we got a long way. We're watching the calendar, but hopefully the time will pass. But yeah, so I just wanted to do that and just dive into the idea and the concept of helping the hobby pay for itself and share some of the ways that you can do this. And also I want to touch on, because I touched on the PayPal debit card, because that's exactly what I used, because I just had the money go right into my PayPal account, and then they had all the different ways that you could pay, and it had PayPal, but I think they just meant PayPal card. So I was like, okay, just go straight from my PayPal, but I just use the debit card or whatever, it works the same way. So that's just something else, and I think that is strong as well. If you use PayPal at all, that's the perfect way to keep your funds separated. So if you're doing a lot of buying and selling, and then you have your other, maybe you have a bank account, couple bank accounts, different cards that you use, that's a perfect, I think that's just a perfect tool to use. Keep them separate. Keep your PayPal, if you're flush with your regular accounts, especially if you have a family account, you don't want to dip in there and mess up family finances or joint finances, whatever it is, business maybe. Just keep them all in your PayPal account and use a PayPal card, because you can use that. That's just perfect for using in stores. And I like the idea. I think I'm going to start doing that more as I get back into buying and selling more. Just keep stuff there, and then I can use the actual card, the PayPal debit card, for purchases in stores, online, and just go right out of my PayPal account. And that would just be a perfect tool. I can even move money over and just move money, like just transfer money back and forth. So this was, there are even just more examples out there. I just wanted to share a few and dive deeper into that and give you a few more examples, and then share this example, or share the announcement of how, like a perfect example of how you can apply this concept. So if you have any other ideas, share them in the comments below, because it's all just about collecting and just enjoying the hobby. And I hope all of you can learn from this and use this concept in your own collecting and buying and selling ways, and whatever else you can do, just apply it however it works for you. And then again, I'm all about helping you all save money, keep money in your pockets, and get more bang for your buck, however that may look. There are different ways to do that. So I encourage all of you, if you have any ideas, again, to share them in the comments below. So I hope all of this just helps you with that and the update on the Signal. I also want to know if you backed the Signal. Are you with me and 19,000 plus other people who shelling the money out for this massive, I just like to say, just massive mutant hunter, this beast of a toy collectible, this gigantic Sentinel. So I just want to share that with you, because again, I was just kind of geeked out. So I can't wait because of course I have to wait a year now to actually see this thing in hand. But I never recommend going to check that out. If you just haven't seen it yet, go look at that and just kind of check it out, because they show pictures. There's plenty of pictures out there, some process for how they're molding it, making it, and just some other figures, the other tiers. So go check that out, the other figures and heads, additional heads, and accessories that come with this, all the different tiers. So that's that. Just share. And if you have any other stories, not only recommendations or examples, but if you have any stories of ways that you help the hobby pay for itself, drop them in the comments below, because I definitely want to hear all of that. Share it with the world. So that's that. Happy reading, happy hunting, happy collecting, happy helping the hobby pay for itself, work for itself. And yeah, this is GENOTHADRAGON. Thanks for watching, and peace out.